Hello, my friends. Sadly, Chadwick Boseman recently passed away, and I've been trying to think of what I should say for the past few days, and honestly, I'm really not sure what to say. And I figure instead of trying to prep, just start talking, and that's gonna be the video. Um, So obviously, Black Panther is an important part of my life. It's what started my YouTube channel. The very first video was about Black Panther, so it's obviously had a big impact for me personally. Um, and obviously, it's Black Panther and, by extension, Chadwick Boseman, the man who played the Black Panther, obviously had a huge impact on the lives of many people. Now, obviously, I am aware that Chadwick Boseman has played many other roles and played very great men of history, but frankly, I know him from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's where I know Chadwick. Um, though I might one of these days watch that Thurgood Marshall movie that he did, because I am interested in civil rights. Um, but yeah, I first learned about him from the, what was it called? Civil War? Was it called Avengers Civil? No, it wasn't. It didn't have the Avengers title, but it was called some kind of Civil War. You know which movie I'm talking about. And then of course we got to see him star in his feature film Black Panther. But anyway, Chadwick Boseman, he did an amazing job of playing the Black Panther, and although he's going to be missed, his legacy will live on forever. And what is that legacy? His legacy was that of showing the world a powerful black superhero, and that meant a lot to a lot of people, especially the black community. And yes, of course, there was some on-screen black superheroes before, which would have been Blade and also Spawn. But the Spawn movie was terrible. No one even remembers the Spawn movie. Blade was good, but the thing is, those two characters were anti-heroes, whereas the Black Panther was like a true superhero, fighting for good and justice, all that good stuff. So, obviously, there's a big difference there. And on top of all that, there was this whole connection that the movie has to Africa. And it showed Chadwick Boseman and his fellow actors and actresses showed the world how beautiful and amazing a movie can be that's focused and centralized around Africa. And some people, not all viewers, but some viewers, would then go on to want to learn more about Africa from watching that film. So that's fantastic. Obviously, I think that's great because I'm someone who studies Africa. But yeah, I do of course understand that not all people who watch that movie decide to then learn about Africa. But what every viewer did come to understand after seeing that movie was that a black-led movie can be great, and showing African culture, they can see the greatness of African culture, which has been just hidden away from so many people. Obviously, I know it's a sci-fi. I know it is. They've got a lot of fantasy elements, but at the same time, intermixed with the sci-fi stuff that they have in that movie, they had real African stuff that you could see, real African art, real African architecture in certain scenes, and you can check out some of my previous videos to see what I'm talking about. And I know that there's some Uh, in terms of the politics of the movie, I know that there's some people out there who feel like it should have been more progressive, but I do feel that it was progressive, and it was progressive enough. Keep in mind, at the end of the day, it was a film made by Disney, one of the biggest corporations on earth. But despite that, the director and the actors were able to still get a good, important message across. And among those messages that the film had for us was that black representation in media matters, black culture matters, and black lives matter. I know it didn't have that slogan in the film, but clearly you can see that message in the film. Lastly, I want to note that Chadwick Boseman was not just a great actor, but a great man as well. One of the last things he did before he passed away was to raise millions of dollars to protect the lives of black people in America who are dying at a disproportionate rate in this country compared to other people's due to the pandemic. So, obviously, he cared a lot for his people. I know this wasn't the most eloquently spoken video I've ever made, but I really felt the need to say something about all this. Thank you for watching, and we will now end with a quote from Chadwick Boseman himself. From this country's founding history, its economic base, its social standard, its penal system, its protection of property, white supremacy and racial prejudice are its pre-existing conditions. Change is here. Black lives matter. Knowledge has always been power, but on June 19, 1865, 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, knowledge finally brought freedom to the slaves in Texas, taking us closer to the ratification of the 13th Amendment in December 1865. Understanding history is one of many ways to break the cycle. Lift up, amplify black voices, support black-owned businesses, reach back, mentor, take action through causes and organizations like Black Lives Matter, NAACP, Bail Project, When We All Vote, and Color of Change. 155 years later, let's try to learn from our past to create a better future. Juneteenth.